Hi everyone, it's Sir Douglas of the Argos Fancast here once again with another video, and today I preview the titanic, gargantuan, very important Battle of the Undefeateds coming up tomorrow night at BMO Field, 7:30 kickoff. That's a Friday night. It's going to be beautiful down there again. Get your tickets, argonauts.ca, as the aforementioned Toronto Argonauts, take on the reigning and defending Grey Cup champions, the Montreal Alouettes. Now, if you were to have looked at the injury report earlier this week, I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of going on. Because you take a look at it, you would see Dejan Allen, Jared Brinkman, Kadeem Carey, Jonathan Jones, Tavares Daniels. You'd see all these guys on there. But when you take a look at the depth chart, everything's all good except for Dejan Brissett, who's actually tore his knee up pretty bad, so he's not going to be playing. Darius Sirocco as well is out. He's got a hip injury, so they're both out. But when you think about it, Jonathan Jones, he's coming back. Tavares Daniels, he's off the 6th game and he's back. Jordan Williams, Brandon Calver, and Landon Rice are all drawing in comparison to Muddy Waters is going to sit out this one. Darius Joyner is going to sit out this one. The two injuries of Darius Sirocco and Dejan Brissett, and also Ralph Hawley will also be sitting out on this one. They will be inducting a few new all-time Argos coming up tomorrow night. It is for the players' side. You have Ricky Ray. We all know him. We all love him. 4-time Grey Cup champion, won 2 with us. What can I say? He one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play in double blue. That's for darn sure. And I've unfortunately have seen my fair share of bad ones as well as good ones. But also you're also gonna start seeing a builders category as well. You're gonna see the coach of the '83 team, Bob Obilovich. You're gonna see Lou Heyman, and you're gonna see Peter Martin all coming in on the builders side. So, and apparently there's going to be a permanent fixture at BMO that's going to be coming up sometime at a later date. So it's finally starting to happen where BMO Field's starting to get a little Argoized, if you will. Now, as for the game itself, well, Montreal is one of the top teams in the league, and for good reason. I mean, I don't think they haven't lost a regular season and playoff game in quite some time. Like, I think it's going back to some point last season, I believe. One thing I've noticed about Montreal is that they love to take advantage of mistakes. You saw it. You saw it with Ottawa. If you give them anything, if you give them up to an inch, they're going to take up to the 401. So things like, you just fumbled the ball. Okay, I'll just run it. I'll just scoop and score it back for 6. You just threw a duck into double coverage. I'll just yoink that and take that all the way back. Things like that. The Argos are going to have to play a pretty darn close to perfect game. And with what we've got, I can see us actually doing that, because Cameron Duke's very, very accurate quarterback. I don't see anything bad coming out of him. Our O-line is still the same. I don't see any issues there. The defensive line, no issues there, except I think the defense has got to be just a tiny bit more, probably a tiny bit more aggressive. Find a way to trying to find a way to contain Cody Fajardo and company. But I think the biggest redemption arc that you could see in this game is going to be the secondary. The secondary is unchanged from the game against Edmonton. And keep in mind, Edmonton is a team that's better than their record shows. Now you're going up against the defending champions, who have been downright perfect over their first 3 games of the season. I am expecting that if the Argos don't do something about Cody Fajardo, he is going to torch them through the air. Because I hate to see it. I hate to see somebody like Benji Franklin is going to be victimized. He's going to be targeted all the time by probably their 2 best receivers. in Keon Julian Grant and Tyson Philippot. I can totally see that happening. So I'm hoping, and even praying just a tiny bit, even though I'm not that kind of guy, that we see a nice redemption for the secondary here to actually challenge the receivers a little bit. I really want to see it. I really want to see it. And I mean, if the Argos continue their balanced attack as well, I mean, they do have a Montreal does have a really good defense. Like, the team is relatively unchanged from last year's Grey Cup team. So, and Kadeem, we all know Kadeem, like our Cerberus backs, if you will. I'm going to call them that because because people say two-headed monster, three-headed monster. No. If this is the Argonauts, we're going to go into the Greek mythology a little bit. So they're the Cerberus backs. Three-headed dog. Three-headed hellhound, to be precise. So if they could keep the balanced attack going, have the offensive line continue to dominate the way they do, this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be very, very close. It's going to be nip and tuck all the way through, I think. I don't want to give a prediction of a score, but if you're coming in for this game, I can guarantee you're going to get entertained one way or another. I just hope that the Argos can do one really nice thing and break out the dog from Duck Hunt again. If you know, you know. That's pretty much going to do it. So like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you with an instant reaction from BMO Field coming up tomorrow evening. So until then, have yourself a good one.